Welcome to another video. In this video, I would like to talk about how your unconscious sabotages your manifestation and what you can do about it. And so why it's good to know how your unconscious sabotages your manifestation is because the very first step is to just become aware of how that happens. Because when you know what happens and how it happens, then you have a chance to do something about it. And even just becoming conscious about it, it's like bringing light into the darkness. And in the presence of the light, the shadow scatters. So when you bring the light of conscious awareness into your unconscious self-sabotage, then that's already starting to dissolve that where you are limited in your manifestation. So most people's manifestation is limited in the following way. So before we are born, we are pure creative spirit, and when we are born, we are still pure creative spirit. We just embody a body, and our consciousness gets really squeezed, and we only have access to a certain part of our consciousness that is really designed for this world, for these different frequencies that make this earth life possible. Okay, that was a tangent. But what happens is, before you're born, you're pure creative spirit. Then you are in your mother's womb and you have it like nothing's missing, like you're completely complete and perfect. In an ideal case, you're never cold, you're never upset, there is food and drink on tap 24/7, nothing's missing, you're whole, complete and perfect, right? Not a care in the world. And then you are born, and then you start learning that you're not whole, complete and perfect, that you have to do something in order to be loved, accepted, belonging, etc., etc. In some places, in some teachings, this is called the loss of innocence, and it's also called in Jungian philosophy or psychology, it's called the individuation process. So in this individuation process, we learn that we are actually a limited being, not a limitless spiritual being, but like we start to learn that we are this limited being, and the limits are whatever society teaches us that those are the limits. So like, for example, you're a child and you are taught, like a lot of people in the UK are taught that good children are seen and not heard. So, and maybe you were at the dinner table and you were really excited about something and you just wanted to share yourself completely and excitedly, and then you got told good children are seen and not heard. And so you learned that in order to belong and be accepted and get love and maybe get dessert and be treated like a good human being, you have to shrink and you have to be silent. So then you learn for life. If this happens, especially if this happens between the ages of 0 to 7, when your unconscious is wide open and you are the most malleable, you're totally programmable, you're learning everything that you're seeing and encountering via osmosis. And so something like this happens, and so that is your unconscious that then decides, okay, so this is the way to be safe. This is the way to get loved, accepted, belonging, right? So your unconscious learns, if only I stay small and quiet and seen but not heard, then I will be loved, accepted, belonging, perfect, whatever. And so you now have this limited perspective, this limited orientation towards the world through which you start looking at the world. And maybe some other things happen, and then it becomes like all of these rules of how you need to be in order to be safe and belonging and loved and whole, complete and perfect and not missing out on anything, right? And then most of us, this is the human condition, that we start then living our lives from that perspective. And our whole lives become a strategy to avoid being not belonging, not loved, not safe, all of that. So, but then how the unconscious works is that the unconscious will decide, right? This is how the unconscious works. This is how it works. Once it learns something, it just repeats the same program because it is designed to keep you safe. It is designed to keep the body going, and it is designed to keep you safe. And as that, it will just keep repeating the same program. And how your unconscious mind thinks is that this way of existing equals safe, like what it learned between 0 to 7. So if I stay with my example, your unconscious learned between ages 0 to 7, your unconscious learned restricting myself equals safe. Restricting myself, so my self-expression, and being quiet and small equals being loved, belonging, being perfect, being approved, equals safe. That's safe. So when you later on in life, let's say you want a promotion in your job and you have to speak up, but your unconscious has it like staying silent is safe. So your unconscious, you will try and you will muster all your courage and you start speaking up in the meeting and people just won't hear you. Somehow people just, whatever comes out is just not gonna communicate your idea in a way that other people will understand that that's a good idea. Or maybe you will muster all your courage and speak up and people will hear your idea, but maybe somebody else will say, oh, this is a great idea, and if we make this change in your idea, then it's going to be a lot better, and that person gets the promotion, or something like that. That's just an example. Right? But this is how it plays out. It's your unconscious will facilitate the circumstances. It will attract the people, the circumstances. It will make you say words. It will make you behave. It will create your body language. It will attract like all the circumstances to keep you safe, to not let you go beyond that which it constituted as safe when you were between the ages of 0 to 7. Okay, so, and we have found that there are 9 most uncommon unwanted beliefs, aka unconscious sabotaging agendas, aka unconscious sabotaging identities. This is all the same thing. You have, in this way that I just explained, you created for yourself, your unconscious created for you, but that was still you. You accepted those rules. You put the rules there, right? So in this way, you created an unconscious identity. Like, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is the way that I need to be, this is what it means to survive. So you created an unconscious identity. So that's your identity, but it's not really conscious to you. Like, you don't have to consciously think about these things. That's your automatic internal GPS system. Your unconscious and your superconscious will constitute all these circumstances in order to keep you safe and not let you go beyond those limitations that your unconscious created when you were 0 to 7 years old. So this is your unconscious identity, aka unconscious limiting beliefs, aka this is your unconscious agenda, because it's also an agenda. The agenda is to keep you safe, right? And these are unwanted beliefs, and we found that there is 9 of them, which most people have a combination of. Most of them, some of them, all of them, we all have this. Okay, so these are the 9 unconscious sabotaging agendas. I am unworthy and need to be deserving by helping others. Yeah, I have notes, so I'm going to look at them. I am not good enough and need to achieve to prove myself. I don't belong, so I must become accepted and never rejected. I am not safe, so I must retreat to my mind and understand it all. I am not able to handle negative emotion, so I will avoid it at all costs. I am not perfect, and there is a way to be perfect, and I'm gonna figure out how that is. Maybe I know how to be perfect. Or maybe I know how to be perfect, but I will never be perfect. There's that version as well. I don't have permission, and I need an authority to tell me I'm allowed. I must avoid conflict, and I will avoid it at any cost. I must have control and power to be successful. If I don't have control, if I don't have power, I'm not successful. Or I can't be successful unless I have control and power. So these are the 9 sabotaging agendas, part of your unconscious sabotaging identity that most people have. And so, like I said, just by being aware of this, you have taken the first step to start bringing the light of conscious awareness into that shadow. So this is part of shadow work, to realize what are these main core beliefs. And you will see that when you find one, like I'm unworthy, if you have that one, if you have the I'm unworthy one, it will be all over your life, in all areas of your life. You will meet the same circumstances, and you will have like many beliefs that will connect to that one core belief. Like maybe if you have this one of I'm unworthy, then maybe you will also have like the variations of why you are not worthy, like variations of it. Like because you think you're not beautiful enough, or you're ugly, or you don't like your hair, or you don't know enough, you're not successful enough, or everything you do is not worthy to be appreciated or paid for. Yeah, so that's enough examples. Like you might have a lot of these things around it, which are all gonna go down to the same core belief, which will be either I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough. I know there was some in there that was more like I'm not good enough. And if you have the I'm not worthy one, also, like to give you another example, like in relationships, you will constantly be in relationships where you are treated a certain way, and part of you will be like something's off. Part of you will be like your relationships will be constituted in that way of what you believe you are worthy of. And so if you have it like I'm not worthy, and you will have some variation of I'm not worthy, and then you will keep attracting like that same type of person in a different body who will treat you like not like you are like so worthy. You're worthy of committing to, you are worthy of marrying, you are worthy of being treated like a princess, you are worthy of being bought flowers, you are worthy of being given gifts, like like you're all of this, right? But instead you will attract the type of person who will not do any of that. So, and it's because you think you are only worthy of this certain kind of person. You will worthy of the kind of person who won't commit, won't control their anger around you, who won't give you flowers, won't pay for your dates. You will attract the kind of person who will never commit to you, the kind of person who will never choose you completely. There will always be like their job will be more important, their self will be more important, their mother will be more important. Maybe they will have lovers, or maybe they'll have other relationships, and you just will never be that important to be committed to. And that is because you have like this level in your unconscious mind of how worthy you think you are, what you think you are worthy of. So your unconscious mind will literally, and your superconscious will orchestrate your life, and you will keep attracting, and you will keep unconsciously choosing the people who will prove to you that you are right, and who will also behave in a way that your unconscious knows that it is safe to have that. So like, if I stay with the same example, if you have it like you're unworthy and you are trying to go for something else, you're trying to go for the relationship of your dreams, where you are treated like you are worthy of like the world, that you deserve the world, that you're worthy of being treated like that. You're trying to go for that, right? But your unconscious will facilitate circumstances that maybe even if you find a person who is like that, maybe you won't like them. Or you find a person who wants to treat you like that, but you will find some excuse not to be with that person. Or maybe you'll even be in a relationship or some kind of a relationship with this person, but maybe your unconscious or their unconscious will just create circumstances where you will be eventually repelled, because your unconscious will not feel safe, because for your unconscious, safe equals, even if it's really painful for your conscious mind, your unconscious will still believe that is not safe. And even though living life like I'm unworthy and keep being proven right that I'm unworthy, even though living life like that is really painful for the conscious mind, your conscious self, still for your unconscious that is comfortable. And also for your unconscious, that constitutes safe. Because maybe when you were a child, something happened and you learned that your dad didn't pick you up from school, and maybe he forgot, or maybe they had a miscommunication with your mom and you were left there at school and nobody picked you up. So your unconscious decided, I'm not worthy. Let's say this is what your unconscious decided, I'm not worthy. And I'm not worthy to be remembered, to be picked up, whatever it is, right? So you decided you're unworthy. But later on they did pick you up. So you didn't die in that experience, you survived it. And because you survived it, and this happened between ages 0 and 7, and because you survived it, your unconscious constitutes that is safe. No matter how painful, if it's survivable, then equals safe. Oh, learned it. Okay, so being not worthy, being forgotten equals safe. Being never chosen equals safe. Being never worthy enough to be committed to equals safe. So it will just keep repeating the same program. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we'll just keep repeating the same program. So this is how your unconscious mind works, and this is how it sabotages. When you're trying to go for something different than what you ever had in your life, your unconscious will keep you in these patterns because it thinks this is what safe is. So just knowing this is already the first step of bringing the light of conscious awareness into this shadow and starting to dissolve that shadow. So this is number 1. Number 2, what you can do is that you can start training your unconscious mind that it's safe to have that which you want instead. So, and how you do this is the language of the unconscious is emotion and symbolism. So stories, imagery. So what you could do is you could close your eyes once a day or twice a day or however fast you want to go and imagine that wish fulfilled. Imagine yourself in that situation. Let's say if you have this I'm unworthy and you can't for the life of you have a relationship that really works for you, then what you would do is you would imagine yourself in a situation where you are married, you are sitting on the sofa with the man of your life or the woman of your life or the person of your life, and you're sitting there on the sofa holding hands, and how do you feel? You feel safe, you feel appreciated, you feel loved, you feel calm, right? And you would just keep imagining that, keep imagining yourself in that situation. And also some instruction how to imagine this is like, if you can imagine it, like see yourself, but also if you can see yourself, then also step into it. Like if you imagine you're sitting on the sofa, like you imagine that you you sit where you sit in your imagination. So put the hands where the hands go, put the nose where the nose goes, put the lungs where the lungs go, put the heart where the heart goes, put the legs where the legs go, and put the feet where the feet go, and then breathe with the lungs of that person who already has that which you desire. And if you keep doing this, if you keep imagining this, what you're doing, because your unconscious cannot tell the difference between if it's real or if you're imagining it. So if you keep doing this, you are training your unconscious mind that it's safe to have that. And other than this, there are many other ways to help your unconscious mind out of this limitation. And I'm just sharing what I know that works. Other than that, there is also a really effective, amazing rapid recode modality called the Superconscious Recode, which we regularly do in my membership, the Conscious Creator Academy, which is a manifestation membership where we have one live group coaching session per week, and every single session contains a superconscious process meditation or a superconscious recode. So we do use the superconscious recode. Again, that's a rapid recode modality that is literally designed to teach your unconscious very quickly new information, create new neural connections in your brain, like physically changing your brain, but also changing your unconscious. So teaching new information to your unconscious mind quicker than as if you were keep imagining it, which is also very useful and effective, and you should do that. And I would not recommend anyone to rely on just the superconscious recode, but I just wanted to let you know there is my manifestation membership where we utilize this amazing rapid recode modality. What else can you do? You can journal, you can write, you can make a vision board, you can do any of these things. But the most important thing is that it's a way of being. It's what frequency you're occupying, and whether you are able to teach your unconscious new information, whether you are able to teach your unconscious that it's safe to have that which you desire. That's the main thing. And again, many paths up a mountain, and I'm just sharing, there is hypnosis, there is NLP, there is tapping, there is all of these different ways where you can teach your unconscious new information. But that's the main limitation, which might stop you from creating that which you want to create, from manifesting that which you want to manifest. Okay, I think that's it about the unconscious and the unwanted beliefs. Yes, I'll see you in the next video.